So one thing that you do get a lot of misinformation about with regards to keeping reptiles is enclosures. One thing that's said a lot of the time, which isn't always true, is the bigger the better. The biggest problem is it's really easy to go overboard and have a 6-foot tank for a really small lizard or a snake, and the thing is, snakes think that they're still in the wild. So if you've got a hiding place down one end and there's light up the other end, they'll sit in their hiding place and they'll never get the chance to warm up. They're convinced if they go 6 feet with no cover or hiding place, the bird's going to get them. So often you want something small but big enough that they can still get from a hot space to a cold place. The smaller they can have all those things in together and still feel comfortable, the better it's going to be and the more economical it's going to be to run. The other things with enclosures, we've got a heap of different options. Glass enclosures, such as exoterra ones that we've got here at Living Jungle, make great things for enclosures for things that don't need so much heat. Things like our geckos, some of our snakes if you're in a reptile room, live in there. But if you have an enclosure like this in a lounge room with no other form of heating besides the light, it's going to let out too much heat. Glass isn't very good at holding heat in, so it works really well for local species. Things like fish tanks, great enclosures for blue tongues, but with regard to some of our warmer lizards like our bearded dragons and things like this, it doesn't hold the heat in. For animals like this, our pythons and lizards from up north, you want enclosures kind of like this one. So we've got our wooden pine enclosures. You can also get melamine enclosures, plain white. But some with the small collection, these ones make really nice displays. And being wood on all the sides except the front, they do hold in heat a lot better. The other thing to learn is every reptile does require different sort of housing. Whether it's arboreal, lives in trees, it's going to want a taller enclosure. Lives on the ground, it's going to want a small, wide enclosure. The other thing with regards to them is how they heat. Like I said before with the geckos, things that don't come out during the day to bask, often just like valley heating, like a road in the middle of the desert. That's the way they warm up. Things that do come out, like our lizards and things like this, like a hot globe, and certain reptiles require UV light as well, which it's not a hard thing to achieve. Just go to any pet shop with reptiles, because that's when we've got them. But it's important to look into that sort of thing before you try to get a reptile. If you do have a reptile that requires UV and he doesn't get it does cause complications with regards to infiltration, calcium and things like this. So it's a quite simple thing once you've got it, just a couple of basics that people need to learn, and it does take a little bit of time, but once you've got it, it's a very low maintenance setup and it'll last the rest of your reptile's life.